Have you ever wondered what a narcissist actually thinks about when they hurt people, demand admiration, or twist reality to make themselves the victim? It's easy to say they're just selfish, but the truth is much darker, much more fragile, and rooted far deeper in the human mind than most people realize. Today we're going inside a narcissist's internal world, the beliefs, fears, coping mechanisms, and illusions that drive their behavior. Because behind every narcissist, there is a story they don't want anyone to know. To understand a narcissist's mind, you have to understand their mask. On the outside, they look confident, charming, unbothered, even powerful. But psychologists call this the false self, a character they've built because the real self feels deeply inadequate. A study from the University of Georgia found that people with high narcissistic traits show high explicit self-esteem, but low implicit self-esteem. In other words, they say they believe in themselves, but subconsciously they don't. Their confidence is a performance, not a foundation. The mask exists to hide the insecurity underneath. This is the first step inside their mind. Everything they do is an attempt to protect the fragile self behind the mask. To a narcissist, people fall into two categories. 1, people who supply admiration. 2, people who threaten their sense of superiority. If you admire them, if you praise them, if you make them feel special, they pull you closer. If you criticize them, set boundaries, or stop feeding their ego, they react with anger, defensiveness, or distance. This is called narcissistic supply, the emotional fuel they use to stabilize their fragile self-esteem. Inside their mind, people aren't seen as independent individuals. They are extensions of the narcissist's identity, tools for emotional regulation. This is why they struggle with empathy, not because they don't understand emotions, but because your emotions don't exist independently from theirs. You are only meaningful in relation to their needs. Every narcissist has a core wound, a moment in childhood when they learned that being vulnerable was unsafe. Sometimes it's neglect. Sometimes it's overpraise and unrealistic expectations. Sometimes it's emotional inconsistency. Research from Harvard University found that children who grow up with conditional approval that only comes when they perform, show significantly higher rates of narcissistic traits as adults. The child learns, I am loved only when I'm impressive. And so the narcissist grows into an adult who must always appear superior, because anything less feels like emotional death. If you could hear the private thoughts of a narcissist, they might sound like this. I need to be the best. If I'm wrong, I'll look weak. They better appreciate me. If they don't agree with me, they're disrespecting me. I deserve special treatment. This is the part most people don't see. The internal world is rigid, fragile, constantly comparing, constantly protecting the ego from anything that feels like inferiority. A narcissist isn't confident. They're performing confidence so intensely that they begin to believe it themselves. One of the most confusing behaviors is gaslighting, denying your reality, rewriting history, or blaming you for their actions. But inside their mind, gaslighting serves a purpose. It protects their carefully constructed identity. If admitting fault makes them feel weak, if taking responsibility pokes at the core wound, if your feelings challenge their self-image, they will distort reality to escape vulnerability. In their mind, the truth isn't what actually happened. The truth is whatever keeps their ego intact. It's not about facts, it's about emotional survival. If you've ever been close to a narcissist, you know the emotional whiplash. At first, they idolize you. They mirror your interests. They make you feel like you're the most important person in their world. But eventually, the admiration fades, and they start seeing your flaws, your independence, your boundaries. And because they can't tolerate anything that threatens their superiority, they devalue you. Psychologists call this the narcissistic relationship cycle. Inside their mind, this looks like Phase 1, you're perfect. You make me feel powerful. Phase 2, you're not praising me enough. Phase 3, you're against me, you don't appreciate me. Phase 4, I'll replace you. It's not personal, it's psychological self-defense. For a narcissist, intimacy is dangerous. True closeness requires vulnerability. It requires admitting flaws, facing criticism, and accepting emotional reciprocity. But the narcissist's mind sees vulnerability as weakness exposure, loss of control, a threat. This is why they sabotage genuine connection. They crave love, but fear the emotional exposure that comes with it. A study from Ohio State University found that people high in narcissistic traits show significantly higher fear of abandonment, even though they act like they don't need anyone. They want connection. They just don't trust it. 3 things cut deepest. 1. Being ignored. They need attention the way lungs need oxygen. 2. Being shown their flaws. Criticism triggers the core wound, and they react with anger or denial. 3. Seeing someone they once controlled move on. It threatens their belief in their own superiority. Inside their mind, losing control feels like losing identity. The complicated truth: most narcissists don't change, not because they can't, but because change requires self-reflection, humility, and accountability. Psychologists estimate that only 5 to 10% of people with strong narcissistic traits seek meaningful treatment. But when they do, change is possible. Slow, difficult, uncomfortable, but possible. Therapy helps them build a stable identity that doesn't rely on superiority or external validation. The question is, can they tolerate the pain of confronting their true selves? If you've ever been manipulated by a narcissist, or even just confused by one, remember this: their behavior wasn't about your worth, it was about their wound. Understanding the psychology doesn't excuse the harm, but it helps you reclaim your clarity, your confidence, and your emotional freedom. If you found this breakdown interesting, subscribe, because the human mind is full of patterns, secrets, and stories that shape us in ways we often don't even see.